Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Devotee?
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So let me share my screen. Let me know I'm able to see my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So today we're talking about the teaching of Lord Chaitanya on the 24th chapter. The 24th chapter. This chapter is very small actually. So, and this is basically a conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And we all know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested his leelas in this planet Earth. Though he is the Supreme Lord himself, he has come as a devotee and show how a surrender process has to be taken place by the devotees. Okay? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on his mother's, anybody know the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother's name here on the call?
Sachimata.
Sachimata. When Sachimata requested his son, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu's desire was to go to Vrindavan, but and his elder brother was left the body, and Mother Sachi requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please stay near to him, and at the most he can go is Jagannath Puri. Right, so when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Jagannath Puri, and when he saw first time Jagannath, he fell unconscious because the ecstatic symptoms, because he himself is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he has seen the Supreme Deity of Jagannath, he fell unconscious. And at that point, there happens to be a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father age called Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was present there. And everybody was coming, what happened to this man? He felt unconscious. And they bring a small cotton piece, put at his nose. Okay, this person is alive. Then that person was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who fell unconscious. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taken by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to his home. So that is now the rest of the story here. This chapter is described what happens between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. If you have visited Jagannath Puri, okay, and even today, we can go to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, walkable distance from Puri Jagannath temple, okay, and there you can see Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, and where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his Tribangi form there as Lord Ramachandra, Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. On the wall, even still, the imprints are there. Okay, if you happen to go to Jagannath Puri, please don't miss that golden opportunity of seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas there. Okay, so let's see what is going on between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Okay. So when Lord Chaitanya met Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya at Jagannath Puri, the Bhattacharya, being the greatest logician of the day, wanted to teach Lord Vedanta philosophy. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya happens to be a great Vedantist, and when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very much inclined to teach about Vedanta philosophy. Since the Bhattacharya was an elderly man, the age of Lord Chaitanya's father is almost like a Jagannath Mishra's father, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father, Jagannath Mishra's age. He took compassion on the young sannyasi and requested him to learn the Vedanta Sutra from him. So Bhattacharya tried, requesting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you look like a very young sannyasi. You have to learn a lot, and I'm going to teach you Vedanta Sutras. Otherwise, the Bhattacharya maintained it would be difficult for the youthful Lord Chaitanya to continue as a sannyasi. So he thought, okay, if he doesn't know the Vedanta Sutras, this young man, he may go different direction. That's why he decided to teach him Vedanta Sutras. Okay? And when Lord agreed, Lord is here, the Lord means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed. The Bhattacharya began to teach him in the temple of Jagannath. They look at some corner, and every day Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya used to teach Vedanta Sutras to Chaitanya. The Bhattacharya spoke to the Lord about the Vedanta Sutra continually for 7 days. 7 days, and the Lord heard him without speaking a word. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows everything, right? He is the cause of everything. He knows everything. Just not disturbing Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was listening from him what he's talking. On the eighth day, Bhattacharya said, "You have been hearing the Vedanta Sutra from me for the past 1 week, but you have not asked any questions. Now you have indicated whether I am explaining it nicely. So I cannot tell whether you are understanding me or not." So when after 7 days, Sarva Bhattacharya figured out, I have been speaking for 7 days. There is no response to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is continuously listening to him, not talking a single word. Okay, and then Bhattacharya got, why? What's happening? Are you understanding what I'm talking, or you're not completely understanding, or you're understanding whatever it is? He's asking, what is the reason? Then Mahaprabhu replied, I am a fool. The Lord replied, I have no capacity to study the Vedanta Sutra. But since you asked me to hear you, I am trying to listen. Mahaprabhu replies, I am a fool. You look at the humility and humbleness of Chaitanya. I am a fool. I am simply, you ask me to hear, I'm hearing. I'm trying to listen. I'm simply listening to you because you said that it is the duty of every sannyasi to hear Vedanta Sutra. Because you ordered me. Look at the humility of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Though he is the Supreme Personality of God, he did not say, oh, I am a God or this. No, because you instructed me, every sannyasi has to hear Vedanta Sutras, and I'm hearing without asking question. But as far as your explanation is concerned, he says, but I'm listening, but as far as your explanation is concerned here, I cannot understand what you're talking. Thus, the Lord indicated that in the Mayavada Sampradaya, there are many so-called sannyasis who, even though illiterate and unintelligent, hear the Vedanta Sutra for the spiritual master just as a matter of formality. So, in the Vaishnava Sampradaya, we are not like that. In Mayavada Sampradaya, impersonalist sannyasis, because even though they're illiterate, unintelligent, they're forced to hear Vedanta Sutra, even though they don't understand. Right? That's the Mayavada Sampradaya philosophy. Although they listen, they do not understand anything. But as far as Lord Chaitanya was concerned, the reason he said he did not understand the explanation of the Bhattacharya was not because it was too difficult for him to understand, but he did not approve the Mayavada interpretation. So where it concludes here that the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is talking Vedanta Sutras on the purview or with the knowledge of impersonalism. See, this is the difference between impersonalist and devotees. We read same Bhagavad Gita, they read same Bhagavad Gita. The interpretation is all different than our interpretation. Our interpretation of every Gita, every shloka, every line Bhagavad Gita is the devotional service to the Krishna. That's our intention, or our acharyas gave us. Every line, every shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam concludes with devotional service to Krishna. Whereas in Mayavada philosophy, it is like, as I said 2 days back also, Mayavadam is like they don't accept Krishna as a person. They accept Krishna's effulgence coming is the Krishna. And they worship effulgence coming from Krishna. And that's why they have no personal relationship with Krishna. So that is their what you call realization about Krishna. Only is personal, is light coming, effulgence coming from Lord Sri Krishna. Whereas devotees, the source of effulgence, who is Krishna, that is what we worship. That's why, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explaining in the impersonal way. That's why Mahaprabhu was not able to understand. Mahaprabhu was very frank. You are talking, I am listening, but it doesn't make any sense to me. He did not say directly. He says that it doesn't make any sense to me what you are teaching, because he's talking the Mayavadi interpretation of the Vedanta Sutras. When Lord said that he was uneducated fool and could not follow expositions, the Bhattacharya replied, if you do not follow what I am saying, don't you inquire? Why do you simply sit silently? It appears that you do not have something to say about my explanation. So then when he said, I'm a fool and I'm just listening to you, then he said, if you're a fool, why didn't you ask me when I've been teaching you for last 1 week and you didn't ask me any question? If you don't understand, why didn't you ask me? Bhattacharya was asking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Then he said, my dear sir, look at the way Mahaprabhu is addressing. My dear sir, the Lord replied, as far as Vedanta Sutra itself is concerned, I can understand the meaning quite well. Look at that, how intelligently Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling. As far as the Vedanta Sutra is concerned, I know what it means quite well, but I can understand your explanations. Why? Because they're talking in an impersonal way. There is nothing difficult about understanding the meaning of the original aphorisms of the Vedanta Sutra, but the way you explain them obscures, means not clear, the real meaning. He said, Vedanta Sutras are direct. See, Prabhupada writes, purports, it's not indirect. He says, you are a soul, Krishna is a super soul. Your duty to serve him. Do bhakti for Krishna. It's a direct, there is nothing to be hidden and give gimmicks or magics. Direct. So Krishna is the supreme. He is a super soul, you are a soul. He is Paramatma, you are Atma. Your duty is to serve him. It's a direct message. But this Mayavadam, the problem with Mayavadis is, if you ask somebody where is your nose, you show directly my nose is here. Mayavadis, they come like this and show nose is here. So they want to do a long route, Brahmajyoti, then Paramatma realization, then Bhagavan. No, we don't need that. We directly go to Bhagavan realization. That's why he's saying that obscure the real meaning. What you're talking doesn't make sense to me at all. You do not elucidate the direct meaning, but imagine something, thus obscure the true meaning. That is what Mayavadis did. They don't convey the real meaning. There, Krishna is a light. You'll focus on the light. Light is, and you can merge with the Lord. You can become one with the Lord. All these things comes from the Mayavadi, which is doesn't approve the Vaishnava philosophy. Okay, I think that you have a particular doctrine you are trying to expound through the aphorism of the Vedanta. So we have particular kind of rules you wanted to explain through Vedanta Sutras, which doesn't make any sense at all. That's what concluding here. And Mahaprabhu says, according to the 108 Upanishads we have, and he put some of the Isha Upanishad, Kena, Katha, Prasana, okay, Mundaka, Mandukya, all these Upanishads, these are very important because we have 108 Upanishads. Okay. Out of that, the 18 Upanishads is putting that very important. They convey the meaning of. The 108 Upanishads contains all the knowledgeable absolute truth. See, in Bhagavad Gita, in the first introduction, Prabhupada writes that Bhagavad Gita is also called Gita Upanishad. Gita Upanishad. Why? Because the summum bonum of how many Upanishads we have? We have 108 Upanishads, 108 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, right? And 4 Vedas. So the Saramsh, the total crux meaning of 108 Upanishads has been put into one Bhagavad Gita. If you read Bhagavad Gita and understand, assimilate, and accept it, then it is equivalent to reading 108 Upanishads. Okay, and what is the 108 Upanishads he is giving? And these 108 Upanishads in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives one shloka, is called Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavad Gita. What is that Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavad? Paribhasha Sutra means that which gives the meaning of whole Bhagavad Gita. Does anyone remember which shloka is that one in Bhagavad Gita? That is 15.15. That is Sarvasya Chaham Vidusannivisto Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanancha Vedesa Sarva Mahameva Vedjo Vedanta Krit Vedavit Eha Chaham. The whole summum bonum of 108 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, four Vedas, the whole meaning of all this put together, that boils down to one thing, that is the devotion to the Supreme Lord. If you are doing a devotion to Supreme Lord, that is your constitutional position, right? What is the constitutional position? Means that Jivere Surupai Krishnera Nityadas. We have been meant for our duty as a servant of the Lord. That is the only business in human form of life we have to do. All other businesses are secondary. Our primary duty is we are the part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna. You have to serve him. To serve Krishna, other duties we need to perform, doing job, taking care of this, that. It's supporting your primary duty as a servant of the Lord. That is your constitutional position. That when I say constitutional position, I mean that is your meant for actually. But what we will do, we accept that everything else we do it, we don't do our primary duty. It means we are violating our primary duty. Because of that, we are not happy. Nobody happy. Why? Because we are forgetting our primary duty of the servant of the servant of the servant. If what you are meant for, if you are not doing, how can you claim that you are a human being or anything? Because we are forgetting our dharma. What is that? Bhagavad Gita says, "Dharmena hina pashubi samana." Dharmena hina. Without dharma, we are equal to animal. Maybe you have a very nice house, nice two cars, and four bigger salary, but you are just a sophisticated animal. That's all. Without proper dharma. What is that dharma? Dharma is that, but we are the part and parts of Lord Sri Krishna. Our eternal duty is to serve him. Okay, here he writes 108 Upanishads. Okay, and all this Saramsh I said is, look at here from Mahaprabhu says 108 prayer, and also when we chant, we have 108 beats we have, and we take those 108 beats are the gopis of Lord Sri Krishna, right? And 108 Upanishads are there, and all these things are just giving one reality, the absolute truth, that we are a servant of the servant of the servant. We have to serve Krishna through devotional practice. That is the crux of everything. Okay, whether you read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, anything you do to make, to perfect your chanting. That means you want to connect to Krishna. That's the ultimate crux of everything. Right? So Lord Chaitanya protested against then Lord Chaitanya slowly, Lord Chaitanya protested against the misinterpretation of the Upanishads, rejecting any explanation which did not give their direct meaning. You don't have to be indirect. Upanishads, everything is telling Devaki Putra Geetam. That's the only business we have. All Upanishads, everything. That's why in 1515 he says, Sarvasya Samsani, Matta Smriti Jnanam Apohanancha. The remembrance and forgetfulness comes to me, right? Vedesa Sarvam Ahameva Vedyo. The purpose of reading all four Vedas to know who Krishna is. And I am the compiler of the Vedas. I am the master of the Vedas. And if you read four Vedas, we have Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi. Dvivedi means what? They are perfect in three Vedas, the two Vedas. Trivedi, they are perfect in three Vedis. Chaturvedi, they are perfect in four Vedis. But nowadays, everybody does a computer job, but their names are Vedis. Chaturvedi, Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi. Okay, everybody seeks cigarette, everybody drinks, evening, etc., etc. All these things. But what's the real meaning of it? What's the meaning of that one? That means that he is perfect in four Vedas and he has to propagate that knowledge to the other systems in the Varnasam system. That's how it has came names Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, like that. Okay. So the direct interpretation called Abhidhava Vritti. Reading Shastra, understanding directly, that is Abhidhava Vritti. And whereas indirect interpretation is called Lakshana Vritti. The indirect interpretation serves no purpose. What Mayavadi philosophy here, Sarva Bhattacharya explains Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, doesn't make no purpose. Because you look at the life of the Mayavadis, like what they focus on the Brahmajyoti aspect, okay, and actually how that came into existence, Brahmajyoti, is because our inability to understand Krishna's personal features, people made God Nirakar. Usko Nirakar kar do. We can happily can eat. We don't have to do any service to him. You can eat. I am, you are equal. I am Atma, you are Atma, we are equal. And we can go to that level. Because inability to understand the personal feature. But once one step you go ahead, when you come to Bhagavan realization, how much devotional service we can do. Prabhupada uncovered the secrets of whole devotional service. So much temple, Krishna, deities, serving them, cooking for them, having relationship with them, Goloka Vrindavan. Every the business falls once you accept Krishna as a person. But when you accept Krishna as a light, ठीक है लाइट है ना एक लाइट लगा के just focus on the light and light doesn't have any shape form. Okay, I can eat nicely and that is my God. That is the Mayavadi philosophy. What happens to Mayavadis after they leave this planet? They go to the effulgence of Krishna. Hundreds of years they stay there. They get really bored because there's no activity. Activity comes only when two living entities are there. What light is light and they fall down again. In the devotees, over the time, you develop relationship with Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave those five mellows, right? Vasalya, Madhurya, Sakya, Dasya, all these we can develop. Only that relationship comes when he is a person. Right? If there's light is there, what kind of relationship you want to have with the light? That's why Mayavadam is totally rejected. Prabhupada even says, some of the purports, don't even look at the face of Mayavadis. Prabhupada writes such a serious grave about Mayavadis. Because they're making God as a shapeless, where Krishna is going to go to Vrindavan and is such a beautiful form of Krishna, they're making as a shapeless. Okay. There are four kinds of understanding. Direct understanding. So if you want to understand spirituality, we can understand directly, pratyaksha, by seeing, right? And by hypothetical understanding, anumana, hypothetical understanding. Then we can understand historically, atitya. Then understanding through the Shabda Praman. So Shabda Praman, okay, by sound vibration, Shruti and Smriti, right? Shruti, when you hear Vedas, when you hear the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that's one of the most potent ways, sound vibration. When you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, chant and hear the sound vibration of these four, the scripture, sound representation of the absolute truth is the best method. We all think seeing is what believing, right? That is a lower consciousness actually. Seeing is a believing. Hearing and believing is the highest. For example, Prabhupada gives example. Somebody tells you that there is a red light. If you cross a red light, you get a ticket. Hey, you heard from me. I'm authority, you heard from me. And you follow. Somebody says, let me try it. They go and experiment. They get ticket. They pay $250 ticket. Then they get experience. But a person who heard from me that we get a ticket, he's an intelligent person. Why? He heard to the proper source and is practicing. Other person, what he thinks, oh, Shabna, just let me try it. Let me experiment it. Then you experiment, you pay $250 ticket, you get experience. Who is smarter here? The person experimented or person who heard from the proper source and practiced? The person who heard from the Shabda Praman is very, very potent. And somebody tried the experiment. Some people doesn't believe. They experiment throughout their life. End of the life, 70 years after, oh, Krishna is there. I have to chant now. Too late, too late. Everything research is done. Prabhupada and Acharyas are given. Why don't you follow method? Given method. No, I don't trust in that one. Let experiment. You experiment and you get dhakka mukha jindagi mein milega. This one, that one. You go here and there. Nothing works. As long as the world is moving according to your desires, everything is cool. Yes, me, and because of me, I'm so potent, I'm so pious, everything happening to me. As far as world is moving according to your desires. When the world moves against you, then the confusion comes. Hey, kya ho gaya? What happened to me? I was thinking this way, this happening this way. Oh, something is there. Somebody else is controlling. Something power is there. Then you come into picture. Then you'll be at that time will be 65 years old. Then not much time left for the devotional service. That's why hearing proper authorities, sound vibration, not by experimenting, right? not by historical understanding. This doesn't work out. Just by Shabda Praman, what we are doing now, that is the best way. Mahaprabhu explaining all these things to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. The stool and bone of any living entity are considered to be impure according to Vedic literature. Yet the same Vedic literature asserts that cow dung and conch shell are very pure. The Vedic knowledge given is very pure. The Vedic literature is not saying anything wrong. For example, when you go stool, when you take Brahman Diksha, we take immediately shower. And when you touch any bones, it's considered to be inauspicious. But at the same time, cow dung is also stool. And conch shell is a pure we use for Krishna's blowing conch. Cow dung we use for, in the houses and medicinal purposes. So the stool is there, but it's a different stool. As per the Vedic knowledge, they have the purity. One has a purity, one is the impure. So the knowledge is given in Vedas is perfect, but that has to be understood the proper sources so that we can use in the devotional service. Apparently, these statements are contradictory. Yes, here, stool and bone are not used, but cow dung, conch shell, they are contradictory. But because cow dung and conch shell are considered pure by the Vedas, they're accepted as a pure by the followers of the Vedas without argument. We don't argue why cow dung is pure. It is pure. But why? Because we heard from the Shastra. That also smells, but we take it as a because knowledge is given from the Shastras, we use it as purity. If you try to understand statements by indirect interpretation, creating some hypothesis, then we challenge the evidential authority and Vedic statements, right? Otherwise, we can also challenge why cow dung is good. Okay, I don't believe in that one. I don't trust that is the cow dung is good, blah, blah, blah. You can argue that one also. But the knowledge is given in the Vedas. Same way with the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Puranas, telling that the ultimate goal is Krishna, but the Mayavadis, they come with a different aspect with that one. That's why Mahaprabhu is giving all these examples and telling that the purpose of all these Vedic scripture is to accept finally the Krishna is the supreme. In other words, Vedic statements cannot be accepted according to our imperfect interpretation. Okay, knowledge cannot be used by our imperfect interpretation because we have problem, because we are by nature we are faulty, right? That's our nature. By nature, we are faulty. And with our Prabhupada, mental concoction, philosophical speculation, with our own knowledge, we try to interpret Vedas. Then we take meaning something way. That's what Mayavadis does that. They take the Bhagavad Gita, if you go to Chinmaya Mission, they read same Bhagavad Gita, but the interpretation is totally Mayavadi philosophy. So it means the interpretation is so wrong. Imperfect interpretations, lack of knowledge, lack of devotion. How the knowledge comes when you're surrendered to Krishna, Krishna directs us. Krishna gives from our heart, he directs us what is right and what is wrong. But when there is no devotion, only commotion is there. There is no devotion. Only commotion, only noise is there. Then you cannot get the bhakti. They must be accepted as they are. Krishna telling, which says, Sarvadharman Parityeja. Krishna directly telling, surrender to me. Then you may say, why I have to surrender to Krishna? Why I cannot surrender to Krishna? If you don't surrender to Krishna, you surrender to Maya. So information should be accepted as it is. That's why Prabhupada came with the Bhagavad Gita as it is. We have so many versions of Bhagavad Gitas, but none of them would made devotees all over the world. Only Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita made millions of devotees. Why? Because information was given as it is without any perturbation. If they are not accepted as they are, there is no authority in the Vedic statements. We don't accept information as it is. The information given by person also not potent. And when you speak that information also, that will not have any effect on the consciousness of the people you are talking to. Because whole purpose is you elevate your consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Consciousness only elevated when you give the proper knowledge from the proper sources without any perturbations. You put some mal masala, this one, that one, try to do information, and you lose the original content and you give something which is useless, people cannot become devotees. How did Prabhupada made so many, one single 69 years old gentleman, how was he make the whole world into Krishna consciousness? Because of his purity, his consciousness is so elevated, he could have able to affect other people's consciousness. If you're devotee, then only you can know what is that? But Bhakti Sanjayate Bhakti, right? Bhakti, Bhakti, intel gets Bhakti, right? If you go to a Bhakta, you get Bhakti. Otherwise, how it comes? It doesn't come easily. The purity has to be there. Purity is the force, Prabhupada says. If you have purity, but that was Prabhupada has a purity, that became a force, and he was able to establish within 10 years 108 temples all over the world. Why? Because of the purity aspect. Purity comes only when you surrender to Krishna, understand the Shastra as it is given by Krishna. If you go in the Mayavedic way, then that does not have any effect on the consciousness. According to Lord Chaitanya, those who try to give some personal interpretation of Vedic statements are not at all intelligent. Look at that. Bold statement. We give some personal interpretation. No. And even if you teach Bhagavad Gita, you don't have to do any mental concoction. Just present what information Prabhupada given, little elaborate, that's enough sufficiently. If a person is really perceptive about this knowledge, these statements of Prabhupada are sufficiently enough to change his consciousness. We don't have to invent, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. They mislead their followers by inventing their own interpretations. Look at that. They mislead. Oh, how should I attract this devotee? Let me thoda aisa karke interpretation. No, you cannot do that. Present information as it is. In India, there is a class of men known as Arya Samajist. We know that a lot of Arya Samaj marriages take place. Who say they accept the original Vedas only and reject all other Vedic literature. The motive of these people, however, is to give their own interpretation. So Prabhupada just give an example of Arya Samajis. According to Lord Chaitanya, such interpretations are not to be accepted. That's it, period. They're simply not Vedic. Lord Chaitanya said that the Vedic statements of the Upanishads are like sunlight. Vedic statements of the Upanishads are sunlight. Everything is clear, very distinct. When it is seen in the sunlight, the statements of Veda are similarly clear and distinct. Look at that. That is the direct, Prabhupada writes, right? The service to Krishna is the direct. See, the only qualification for a devotee is we have an innate desire is required. We have innate, uncontaminated desire is there to serve the Lord. That's the only requirement we need for bhakti. Okay, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist, you don't have to be a Brahman by birth, etc. So here says a clearly very distinct when it is seen sunlight statements are when you accept this process, the purity of this process is so much so that it will change our consciousness. Why? Because purity is already there in them, clear and distinct. There's nothing to be what is the meaning of this line? Can you explain? Meaning is already given in the line itself. This is a direct. What is that? Krishna is the supreme, you have to serve him. Devotional service karo. क्या करना? श्रवणम कीर्तनम विष्णु शरणम पाद सेवनम अर्चनम वंदनम दास्यम साख्यम आत्म निवेदनम. Any of this process to Krishna. There's nothing to be confused about here. Devotional service is so direct. It is susukam kartam avyayam. Susukam. And also it is very easy to do it. And distinct. The Mayavadi philosophers simply cover the sunlight with a cloud of their interpretation. What Mayavadi is doing? Oh, this meaning could be like this. This line meaning could be like this. They twist around it and they lose the original content of that and they confuse people. And then finally they come, okay, God is Nirakar. Chalo, go and have a lunch, nice lunch without offering. God is not, there is a light. What light is going to eat? Let us have nice dinner, go to sleep. Right? Lord Chaitanya then said that all the Vedic statements of the Upanishads aim at the ultimate truth known as Brahman. The word Brahman means the greatest, and the greatest should immediately be understood to refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all emanations. What is that? Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajanti mam bhutava. Material creation, space, everything emanates from me. I am the giver of all these things. Aham bija pradapitaha. I am the seed-giving father of all this. Even Prakriti also doesn't work until Krishna glances over it. He is a sarvakarana karanam. That is the meaning of these Vedic statements. Oh, somebody becomes a great Vedantist, shlokas, billion. So four Vedas have close to billion shlokas. You by heart them. End of the day, you don't know who Krishna is and no devotional service. Just a waste of time. But on contrary, if you know who Krishna is, you're equivalent of reading all the four Vedas. A person who comes to Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada writes, right? And he is liberated already. Accepting Krishna as the Supreme Lord itself is a path for liberation. Path for liberation. Accepting three Vishnus would take the maintenance of this material creation. Kaunadaka Vishnu, Garbhadaka Vishnu, Kshadaka Vishnu. Accepting them is also a path for liberation. Krishna, we don't come, that is, devotees are not. People coming to Krishna consciousness are so precious. They come after many. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Very rare to get those people association. Even if chanting, just coming to Vishnu temple to accept Krishna as supreme is a very glorious. We have to worship them. Unless the greatest possess, unless the greatest possess six opulences sinful, he cannot be called greatest. The greatest is therefore Supreme Lord. Six opulences. Aishvaryasya, Samagrasya, Virasya, Yashasya, etc. All those. In other words, the Supreme Brahman is the Supreme Lord, person of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita 10:12. Supreme Lord Krishna is accepted Arjuna, Supreme Brahman. Asita, Vyasa, all they with all gods have accepted Krishna as the supreme. The conceptions of the impersonal Brahman and the localized super soul are contained within the understanding of the Supreme Lord. Get that? We are talking about Mayavadis, yogis, and devotees. Okay? Three features: Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan eti sabhyate. Bhagavan has other two, Paramatma and impersonal. We were talking other day about Sachidananda Vigraha. Same. Whenever we speak of the Supreme Lord, we add the word Shri, indicating his six full opulences. Shri means all six opulences. This means that he is eternally a person. Again, Prabhupada writes beautifully that he is eternally a person. If he were not a person, as Mayavadis think, the six opulences could not be present in the fullness. Yeah, if you take a light, Brahmajyoti, what kind of opulences you attribute to Brahmajyoti? Therefore, whenever it is said that the supreme absolute truth is impersonal, what is meant is that his personality is not material. Here, supreme person is not impersonal, truth is impersonal. That means is that his personality is not material. To distinguish transcendental body from material body, some philosophers have explained him as having no material personality. Krishna is not a material person. Krishna is made of Sat, Chit, Ananda, three elements. His body is full Satchitananda. Vigraha is the form. In other words, his material personality is denied and his spiritual personality is established. So, Krishna doesn't have to work like you and I, right? Krishna doesn't get hungry. And of course, we offer prasadam out of our love for Krishna. Why? Because he doesn't have a material body like you and I have it. Only hungry eating comes when we have the material bodies. Krishna is Satchitananda Vigraha. But we offer out of love to show our gratitude for Krishna, what he has given to us. And on contrary, Krishna also accepts. He waits for the devotee's love. He waits for Krishna, devotee's food. In the famous story, we know that Sanatan Goswami, the Shila of Radha Madan Mohan, right? Sanatan Goswami used to give every day roti without salt. Then one day, Madan Mohan says, "My dear Sanatan, you are giving me every day same roti without salt. Can you please add some salt to it at least?" Look at that, how Lord is depending on his devotees. This is a pastime, it's a leela between devotee. Then Sanatan Goswami says, "My dear Lord, Madan Mohan, you're asking me salt today, tomorrow you're going to ask me sweet, and other day you're going to ask me other things. Where should I bring it from you? You have to adjust what I have given to you." That's it. So how Supreme Lord takes our services with love and devotion when we offer to him. Dear devotees, this is such a beautiful, beautiful subject matter Prabhupada gave us, interaction with the Supreme Lord. Even with deities at home, you see how interaction develops over the time. Such a beautiful pastimes. Our deities, they reciprocate with us. That is devotional service. That is what Mayavadam is missing. If that element is eliminated from the devotion, what is there in Mayavadam? If the personal relationship with Krishna is remove that part, nothing is there. Life is so poor. Here in the Seta Sutta Purana, the absolute truth has no material legs and hands. He has spiritual hands by which he accepts everything offered to him. He has no material eyes, but he has spiritual eyes by which he can see everything and anything. He has no material ears, but he can hear everything, anything. It is like, Krishna body is called Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Charam Jaganti. Brahma Samhita says that Krishna's body spiritual means that he can one part of the body can do the function of other part of the body. For example, Krishna can eat with his eyes, and Krishna can walk with his nose. It means there is no difference between eyes, ears, legs, hands of Krishna. Every part of the body can function of other part of the bodies. That's called Angani Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. He can do everything. That Lord Krishna, when you offer prasadam, Krishna glances. By glance, Krishna accepts prasadam. He doesn't have to eat like with hand, like you and me we eat. Okay, by glancing with eyes, he eats prasadam. That's why prasadam, when offered to Krishna, it becomes so tasteful. That's why there are many similar Vedic hymns which establish the supreme absolute truth is a person who is not this. So, real Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling Sarva Bhattacharya when he started teaching him the Mayavadi philosophy, he said he is giving evidences on the Upanishads how Supreme Lord is a person, not an impersonal. Vedic, that Supreme Lord is a person who is not of this material world. Okay, he is from different world. And the higher Srita Prapanchita explained, although in each and every Upanishad, the Supreme Brahman is first viewed as impersonal. At the end, a personal form of Supreme Lord. To begin with, they start with that, but finally, they accept the Supreme Lord as a person. Another example in Upanishad, we all know this mantras, right? 15th mantra. O Lord, O Supreme Personality of God, you are the maintainer of the whole universe. Everyone is sustained by your mercy. Therefore, devotional service unto you is a true religion of life. What is the dharma? Is devotional service to the Lord is a religion of life. We are meant for that. We are meant for that. That is our primary designation. Everything else is secondary, as I said. If you are doing only secondary, we are forgetting primary, it's a useless job we are doing. Dharmena hina pashubhi samana. Remember that. I am engaged in such devotional service, and so I request you to please maintain me and ever increasingly engage in a transcendental. This is what our prayer as a Grihasthas. What is the heart? I'm engaged in such devotional service also. I request, please maintain me, maintain my job, so that I can serve you, Krishna. That is the ultimate goal. You are the eternal form of Satchidananda. We discussed this day for yesterday of Sat Chit Ananda. And your effulgence is spread all over the creation, just like a sunshine. Right? Krishna's effulgence everywhere. Even sun and moon gets light from Krishna. As a sun disk is covered by the glaring sunshine, so the transcendental form is covered by the Brahma Jyoti. I desire to find you within that Brahma Jyoti. Therefore, please remove this glaring effulgence, because the light coming from Brahma Jyoti is so powerful. We are asked where the God is inside the Brahma Jyoti, right? Light is coming from him. You want to see him, you have to pierce through the Brahma Jyoti, then you can see Krishna. But Mayavadi is just looking at that Brahma Jyoti itself, think this is a God. glaring effulgence. And if you go to any movie stars or you go to marriages, they put a big light while taking pictures. You feel so uncomfortable that comes on our face. It's so bright. But Krishna's light is Koti Surya Samateja Swarupa. Krishna is Koti Surya Samateja Swarupa. That powerful Krishna's effulgence coming from him. In this words, clearly stated that eternal, blissful, cognizant form of the Supreme Lord, which is Sat Chit Ananda, is to be found within the glaring effulgence of the Brahmajyoti, which emanates from the body of the Supreme Lord. So once you pierce through the Brahmajyoti, you can see the Sat Chit Ananda Krishna. Thus, the personal body of the Lord is the source of Brahmajyoti, as considered in Bhagavad Gita 14.27. Right? So it's clear. That is the impersonal Brahman is dependent on the personality of God. It is also stated in Ayashirsha Pancharatra. In every other Vedic scripture, such as Upanishad, wherever there is a talk of the impersonal Brahman in the beginning, the supreme personality is finally established to the end. Right? So if you want to see Krishna, first you see the effulgence. Then you see the localized feature. Then you see real Krishna. I'll give another example. This sun rays. I'll give other example, very easy example, how you can compare these things. Okay. Assume that you are in a railway station. Okay. And that train is coming from long distance, right? I'm just giving the how to understand impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and Supreme Lord. So the train coming from far distance, first we can see the light of the train, right? By seeing train is coming. The light is like impersonal Brahman, the effulgence. When it comes to closer, you can see kind of a shape like a train. You don't see full train, it's like a shape like a train. That is the where the uh, rishis, the yogis, realize the blockage of Paramatma. When it comes to real station, when you get into the train, that is the Paramatma, Bhagavan realization. You see real Gadi and you sit there and you feel it. That's how we can also visualize these three features. I hope that helps. Okay. I think I'll stop here. I went more than half some of the small chapter, but I can leave here and any questions or any comments, I would take it. Thank you. Hare Krishna. The whole point here is the Mahaprabhu is not directly contradicting what he's saying, but he's educating him as well. And after some time, Bhavasana Bhattacharya surrenders to the Supreme Lord. Okay, so I'll stop here because next 3-4 paragraphs this is the lesson is, but the speaker tomorrow would have chance to cover other half of it. I'm an audible devotee, so nobody is saying anything. So I just wanted to make sure that I was not talking on the mute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Impersonal impersonal is the same as a Mayavadi, exactly,
Yes,
right?
correct.
They don't believe in a person at all. They believe
Nirakara.
Krishna is not a person, it's an impersonal.
Yes, correct.
But here is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proves both the ways. So he don't want it to insult. So he says he can do impersonal and personal. So he can smell, he can eat in any organ, he can expand from any organ and anything.
Okay.
And people with the Brahma Jyoti, they don't believe a person at all.
Yeah, what happens is that when they see the effulgence coming from the Lord, they think that is Krishna itself. Krishna is a light. They don't go beyond that. They're happy with that. And they don't serve because light doesn't need any services.
So they just concentrated on the light.
That's it. So ऐसा बोलते हैं ना, close your eyes, focus on your forehead, look at the light. That's all they do.
Like a Brahma, this one Brahma Kumari people does on Bindu.
Yes. I mean, most, the Chaitanya mission, this, except these four sampradayas, most of them are Mayavadis, Mataji. The whole, that is the one of the reasons Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, advented. All India, even my own family is my sister, everybody is Mayavadis. And Krishna is not there. Right. And they read Bhagavad Gita, they interpret in different way. They go in direct way, they go in a very complex way. And here Mahaprabhu is telling, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also Prabhupada gives a beautiful version directly, Krishna is the supreme. That's all. There's nothing to be boggled about that one. Why is Krishna is the supreme?
Yeah, I came from that. When they were explaining me a Gita, they say Sarva Dharman Paritajya Mamekam Sharanameva. So they said leave all the religion and come to the Atma. Just believe in Atma.
Yeah.
So super soul, but they don't believe in Krishna.
Right.
So we used to meditate there on our Atma only.
Right.
But you don't gain anything, you don't feel anything. So Atma, you cannot find anything.
You get bored some point. Hare kya karna? Right. Thank you. Nicely explained, Mataji.
And they also taught us that whole universe is made by itself.
Yeah.
Nobody constructed.
Right.
It's just all the sanjog makes it together.
Yeah. Anybody else would like to ask any, or not ask, but any reflections?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Who is this?
Anjana. This is Anjana.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, it's very nice to hear you and all these lessons. And like it's easily understandable, but it's tough to memorize, like when we begin with the shloka. And today, like some who do not believe in the shape of the Lord or just like a light, and that difference, like it was really explained nicely. Yes, like we are grown up and we have seen that, and we met so many people. They have different beliefs. Some really do not believe in the shape, or the कोई आकार नहीं है जैसे भगवान का बोलते हैं, only light, or just believing in there is some kind of power but no shape, nothing. But today in this class is very clear concept. Like earlier we had information in pieces, like heard from somewhere, heard from there, and heard from there, in Gurudwara, in temple, in church, how they believe. But this chapter made everything clear. Thank you, Prabhuji.
It's Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada wrote so beautifully here to understand people like me. So that's, it's Prabhupada's grace.
Like the light at the distance, and more we go like closer, and then how everything becomes clear. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
But one thing we need to learn is, if you become like, we are devotees, and we are trust Krishna as a person, we should not chastise anyone, because it is evolution of the Atma. Okay, some of us who came to Krishna consciousness now could be Mayavadis in the previous lifetime, could be yogis in the previous lifetime. Then we went there, we realized, oh, this is not the path. We fell down, we came. So each one of us could be coming from different sources. Okay, because coming to Krishna consciousness, Bahunam Janma Namante, after taking many millions of lifetimes, we come to Krishna consciousness. Means we have experienced all those things. Then we thought, okay, none of them are working. Now we come to Krishna consciousness, accepting Krishna as a person. So what I'm saying here, a person come to Krishna consciousness can have a varied backgrounds. He could be a Mayavadi, he could be a Brahmavadi, he could be a yogi, or he could be coming directly with devotional service. Everything is possible. But now we coming to Krishna consciousness means that we don't disrespect, because okay, that person is believing maybe after several lifetimes he will come to Krishna. Bhagavan.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, like when I came in touch with this association, so slowly, I started realizing, but actually, it was clear at the very first time also. Like for so many years, we are worshipping like in multiple states, different kind of temples, and visiting all those. But right now, I can say in Hindi, कि जिसको बोलते हैं ना कि now मन जो है like it's settled over here, no need to
Hindi
know
mein?
more about other things or browse anything, or even like this is like more than sufficient, like बोलते हैं ना कि भी हाँ like that's it, maybe this is what I was looking for, or maybe this came to me.
No.
Like
It's not it came to you. You got qualification. Krishna gave you mercy through devotee. When you have enough pious credits, coming to Krishna consciousness is not by fluke or anything. When you get, for example, we came somewhere in 20 years, 25 years, 30, 35. Then we think, oh, why I did not join Krishna consciousness before. But everything has a time. Okay. For example, our children who have been here for last 20 plus years, they're more lucky because since childhood they're practicing Krishna consciousness. But we came in the mid 30s. But I can complain why it was not there before. But every Krishna has time for everything, right? So that's why nothing. Okay, whatever case you are here now, just be serious. That's all.
yes, Prabhuji. I actually slowly I started asking in the temple. Like if I'm in the temple, I can stay in the temple. I don't want to come back, but I I am coming back. I can stay as much as I can. But I was asking Prabhuji like how we do the cooking in the kitchen and how we do the aarti, all that. I want to learn that also. If I can do, if I can qualify, or how do I qualify? So this is just like one or two time I have asked. So let's see.
Actually,
We
Mataji, you don't, I mean, temple we can do certainly. There is certain rules and regulations, but आपका घर भी मंदिर बना सकते हैं. घर में भी भगवान है. आपका
हाँ
घर
वो है
में
प्रभु जी, हाँ वो है
वो सो कर
वो
सकते हैं ना. वेदर टेम्पल में
हाँ
करो, घर में करो, इफेक्ट इज सेम. आपका घर
यस
को मंदिर करके एक डीटी ला के चैतन्य महाप्रभु इन द बिगिनिंग गौर निताय come then you start worshipping prasadam offering. Krishna Mataji, Krishna, it's not that are you doing the temple or home, he doesn't care. We worship him wherever. So we all devotees, for example, we all have the deities at home. We don't go to temple every day because it's not feasible every day. Every morning we get up, we offer prasadam to Krishna, we pray. So there is nothing like difference between home and temple. Yeah, we go to once in a temple to get association and see the Supreme Lord there. But on day-to-day basis, you can do everything at home. Same effect, same effect.
yes Prabhu ji, that I have been doing, and I'm learning more and more with all these classes and with this association. But now the new desire that I see like coming to me is visiting these temples, or you can say dham, not only like in India. Like recently I visited the Brooklyn, that place from where the foundation started.
Radha Govind Temple, New York, Brooklyn,
Yes, in
Radha
Brooklyn
Govind.
there are two. Na? I didn't visit one, but only
One is Radha Govinda, other one is Bhakti Center. I don't know. One more in the Brooklyn, I don't know. Maybe new temple.
there are no deities, but they do classes.
Okay.
And when we reached there, there was one Bhagavad Gita class going on. It was Saturday evening. So this, what I'm trying to say, the new desire. So I went to Philadelphia temple. I came to know, and now I will browse more. I will make a list. I mean, I don't know. Like, I realize this is the new desire that has come to me to visit these places or temples or New Vrindavan. Of course, I like a lot from so many years, but it's far. Like in the beginning, I was not visiting that much. Like after 4 years or something like that.
Okay, Mataji, can let's see if somebody else has any questions. Huh? Thank you so
Sure,
much.
sure. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Very good. Anybody else has any questions or any comments? Yeah, looks like Simeshwar Prabhuji, looks like we are ready to close the session.
Hey, Jai. Thank you so much, Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu, nicely explaining the wonderful topics of discussions between Sri Pamo Bhattacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's very clear that what we're supposed to do, how do we understand the Supreme Lord. It's very clear and direct. All we need to take up that bhakti. So everybody can do this. There is no pre-qualifications required. With the mercy of the Lord and the devotees, and one who follows the devotees' footsteps, we can easily attain that stage of bhakti. The ultimate aim and goal is to attain the pure love for the Supreme. This understanding is needed for that. Thank you so much for joining, and this is very divine classes. Very rare to have. Please understand that these are wonderful topics which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly speaking. Very divine topics. All we need to do, just take it and keep it in our heart always and apply in our life. It's very important. Thank you so much, Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu, explaining in very detail. If there is nothing else, let's conclude. If anybody else has anything to add, any other comments, concerns, questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead. Dandavat, Prabhu.
I hope it's not late to ask a question.
No,
Prabhuji.
not at all. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, so I recently, like a couple of weeks back, I saw in somebody's house a picture of Golok Vrindavan Dham. It was very confusing for me. You know,
But
it
we
also
are
had.
not able to understand what you're talking. Your voice is not clear and
Go ahead,
Is
Mataji.
it better now, Prabhuji?
okay.
Speak.
Is it better now, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, what I was asking is that recently I had seen in somebody's house a picture of Golok Vrindavan Dham, which had Brahmajyoti at one end and, you know, the main Golok Vrindavan Krishna Lok at the other end. It was a little confusing for me, Prabhuji, but from your class, I do understand that, you know, the Mayavadis only reached that level of Brahmajyoti. I
Right.
didn't understand the other parts though in that picture. But also from your class today, Prabhuji, there were many doubts that were cleared. And I had a question though. So you know, the folks that are into yoga and stuff, right? They meditate on you know, Lord in their hearts, right?
Mm.
Would that also be considered as a Mayavadi or
Ah,
impersonal thing, or would that be Paramatma?
there's a kind of a
aspect?
Paramatma, that localized Paramatma kind of thing. Yogis, mostly
Right.
yoga yogis, they focus on the local version of the Supreme Lord. That is also not perfect.
That is also not perfect.
Correct.
From both of these I guess levels, there is definitely a chance of folks to kind of like fall down,
Yes, correct.
right? Ultimately, or whenever they have to, the main goal would be for them also to reach
Yes,
or understand Bhagwan aspect, right?
correct.
Right. Okay.
So,
that is.
maybe I was a yogi in the previous life, probably. Then I might have gone to Avimari, then I fell down again. Now, after doing that, I got, okay, Krishna is the supreme. Okay, here I will accept it.
Right.
That's true.
So birth after birth, they'll have to wait until they reach there.
Yeah,
So
of course.
definitely for us, Yeah, for us Vaishnavas, or the aspiring Vaishnavas like me, we definitely don't have to bother about all those, not into
Yes,
yoga, not into.
Prabhupada beautifully writes that the devotees who accept Krishna as the supreme, in coming to Krishna consciousness, their journey has started. It's a matter of time when you go back to Krishna. That's all. But
Yeah.
Prabhupada has given all the tools and ammunition to just perfect and go back in this lifetime itself. Our Guru Varga, Guru Parampara, everything is given. All the tools were given. Mataji, Prabhupada said beautifully, chant 16 rounds and follow four regulatory principles. I'll be waiting in Goloka Vrindavan for your arrival. I will put your hands in Krishna's hands. Prabhupada gave that promise.
Wow, how
And you don't
nice.
have to be a rocket scientist. Radhanath Swami Maharaj says a simple housewife can go back to Godhead very easily without a PhD mathematician.
Mhm.
Bhakti is so simple, Mataji.
Right, right, Prabhuji.
And Krishna is so, Mataji, how merciful Krishna, I'm telling you. He was able to deliver Putana to Goloka Vrindavan.
Mhm.
And what to speak of? We are not like Putanas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yep.
That clears up. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So sorry, one more little question. You also mentioned, Prabhuji, about the constitutional position, right? So
Yes.
some folks mention, your constitutional position could be in another bhav, right? And you will come to know over your lifetime, or
Yeah.
when you're.
What happens is, first of all, to begin with, we are part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna. That is
Mhm.
our constitutional position. So, in the path of bhakti, Rupa Goswami Prabhupada explains Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anardhani Vritti, then Nishta, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. These are eight ladder step. What happens is, after another nivritti process, it's a whole class, Mataji. I can. What is your name, Mataji?
Lata.
If you want, yeah, it's a whole class. It takes about 1 hour. What happens is that when you reach the after clearing our another nivritti process, then we get a firm faith. Nishta, Krishna is there. He will protect me. You are 100% done. Okay. And then we get the attachment to the holy name. You cannot stay without chanting the holy name of Krishna. And that leads you, a preliminary stage of prema is called bhava. In that bhava level, you know who you are in the spiritual world. Are you a gopa? Are you a gopi? Are you this one? What is your relationship with Krishna? That develops. And
Oh,
with that relationship, you go back to Krishna. In the prema level, fully you serve. You stay in your apartment in America, and you will be participating in the pastimes of Krishna and Goloka Vrindavan.
oh my God! Wow,
Mataji,
how nice!
Mahaprabhu has given so much you can just achieve in this lifetime, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, so well explained. This was actually a little confusing for me because we keep hearing about constitutional position, and you mentioned today as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, how to reach that or how to understand right now, just do what you're doing, I guess. Just keep chanting,
Yeah.
practicing. Right?
First of all, also we need to look, we are gruhasthas. We are married people, okay? Our family comes first priority. We now should not neglect family, okay? That taken care. And everything has to be balanced in life. We have to work. Yes, we have to work because we are stuck in the family life, okay? Husband, wife, kids, we have to take care of them. And that is also service to them. Then whatever time we have, try to sleep chanting and associating the devotees and deities at home, serving them. And also we have enough time. And people say, I don't have time. Krishna, when we surrendered to Krishna, he expands time, he gives more time. Instead of 24 hours, we have 30 hours for devotees. Krishna expands himself.
Right.
It comes that, for
Wow.
example, I'll give so many, n number of examples. If you want to do some work, if you go 10 times, that work doesn't happen. But when again, I don't want to say this advantage, but when you're in bhakti process, things happen so easily for us. We don't have to worry. Krishna takes care.
Mm.
These are byproducts. Again, we are not expecting these things happen, but Krishna takes care of so many things.
Right. We don't focus on that. We just
Yeah,
focus on what we're doing.
exactly.
And rest Krishna will take care of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. How nice, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam.
Okay, Jai, wonderful. Thank you so much. Just to add to that, one point Roji was mentioning, yes, yogis, there is a place called Janalok, Tapalok, Satyalok. Before that, it's called Bhurbhuvaswa.
Yeah.
So then Janalok, Tapalok, Matir. So these yogis goes there.
Yes.
When she change.
Yeah.
So what is the advantage of this lok, Janalok, Tapalok, and Siddhalok? This because of frequently Lord visits there. So they get a greater opportunity and chances, the yogis, so they go higher and higher, like they come to Satyalok. When they come to Satyalok, and when the Lord Brahma goes back to Krishna, so along with the Brahma, such yogis can also go back. So it's a long process. That's why it doesn't recommend. So that's a yogi stage. And of course, like Mayavadis, that's Brahmavadis, that's a good. The pure devotees, they only can enter into the Govardhan or that boundary of directly that by the mercy of the Lord. I just wanted to add.
Yeah, definitely.
Prabhuji, this is so nice. Yeah. That's why we have these so many lokas, right? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's something eye-opening for me. I've heard this for the first time, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Nimishra.
But all these, as Prabhu said, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Mahaloka, all in the purview of material nature. That's a problem. Material creation.
Right. Yeah, that's the 1/3 part of the
Yes.
energy of God, right?
Correct.
And the other, say, 2/3 is that is a little difficult to understand though. But maybe some other class, Prabhuji. Yeah, if we can cover this topic also whenever.
It's very exciting, actually. As I said, Mataji, it's very exciting to read this, and then we understand, oh, there is something for me, right? It's not just end of this life. I can go there and no birth, no death, no old age, no disease.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
There was an example given. I think many of you must have heard about Yogananda Paramahamsa. Many of you heard this? Yogananda Paramahamsa, the great big yogi, like, this yogi spiritual master, I forgot the name. And he appeared once he left the world. One day he appeared before Yogananda Paramahamsa, and he was mentioning this one. The place where his spiritual master went, he was explaining all this. That's exactly mentioned in the Bhagavad about this Janalok, Magarlok, Tapalok. Just another side of another part of the Sargalok. So it's all very clear. It is all very true. It's not that just somebody just mentioned like that, but it's very true.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. If there is nothing, then let's conclude today's class. Thank you so much, Gautam Dr. Prabhu. Be a class tomorrow. Please join, and we'll be continuing this class. There is only 31 chapters in this teachings of Lord Chaitanya, maybe for a few more weeks. And we are planning, and most probably we will be starting a Vaishnava etiquette. It's a very detailed topic, and everybody has to know what is the level of, or who is called Vaishnava. Okay, it's very important. So we'll be also taking some classes on that, some sections and classes. We all can join us. And so we can purely situate in Krishna consciousness. So we don't make much offenses. So many times we forget or we don't know what to do. Very important, certain rules and regulations we follow. Okay. So that's in the preview, that's in the boundary of the devotions. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's conclude. Let's pray together. Vancha kalpatarubhasya कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. वैष्णव वृंद की जय. विराज श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. अनंत गौड़ी वैष्णव वृंद की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि. Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you,
good.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.